everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I will be sharing with you all the books that I bought in November. So I thought I was doing pretty good about the book buying in November, but then I went to a used bookstore and came home with about 20 books. So I did get a lot this month, but a lot of them were through store credit, so I did save money, and most of them are thrifted, which I'm really happy about. I was also gifted a book and I wanted to share that first, and that is Death in Castle Dark by Veronica Bond. And this was a gift from Sam from the Book Bunch, and if you're not subscribed to her, I will have her channel down below. She is the sweetest, and she reads a lot of sci-fi and Christian fiction, and she just has the sweetest personality. So again, I will have her channel linked below if you want to check her out. And she sent me this book, which just, I'm so thankful and so excited to read it. It sounds perfect for this time of year. And she wrote, "Happy early birthday, Miriam. I picked this because the cover is stunning, and you know how I like a good cover. Happy reading with love, your bookish friend from Sam." And again, this book just, it's so cute. It is a cozy mystery, and it seems very atmospheric and perfect for the colder months of the year. And the little blurb says, "Actor Nora Blake finds her dream job when she is cast in a murder mystery troupe that performs in an imposing but captivating old castle. When she stumbles upon a real murder, things take a nightmarish turn in this first book in an exciting new series." I'm so excited to read this, and I might save it for Cloak and Dagger Christmas, which is a readathon happening in December. And once that readathon is announced, I'll put together a TBR video as well, because I'm just so excited for that readathon. But I'm really looking forward to reading this. Thank you again, Sam. I'm just beyond thankful. Thank you so much. These next two books are not thrifted. They're the only two in the pile that I got brand new, but I got this first one for $3, which is absolutely amazing. It was available on Book Outlet. I had points, and so I snatched it up, and I'm just so glad to own a copy. And that is The Librarian of Boone's Hollow by Kim Vogel-Sawyer. I read this book earlier this year and absolutely adored it, and I just needed a copy. But regular price is $23, so I'm just so happy that I found it for such an amazing price. But yeah, thank you to Lindsay from Books for Christian Girls, because she's the one that shared that it was on Book Outlet and I snatched it up. Thank you again. But this book is absolutely amazing. It's set in the 1930s, so Great Depression era in Kentucky in Boone's Hollow, and it has to do with like the traveling librarians at the time, and they would send books to people living in isolated communities and things like that. And oh, this book is just so good, and I'm just so glad that I finally have a copy. This next book you've already seen me mention a few times, but that is The Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. This I also bought recently. I first read it from the library, and I, again, really wanted an edition of it because I loved this book so much. This is a book I see myself reading either every year or every other year around Christmas time, so I definitely wanted my own copy, and it's just a perfect Christmas read, and I'm just so excited to have a copy as well. All right, so moving on to all the books that I thrifted. The majority of them are actually mysteries and classics, and I'm really excited to have found all of these. And the first one is this very old edition of a book that I've never heard about, but I have heard of this author, and I'm talking about The Old Peabody Pew by Kate Douglas Wiggin. And this author, if I'm not mistaken, wrote Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, which is a lot more well-known, but this book is an old country Christmas romance, and this edition is actually from 1907. It is so old. I feel like I have to be so careful because it's on the more fragile side. Yeah, the copyright date, it's 1907, which is just amazing. It blows me away. And the illustrations in this are so beautiful. I love how it hasn't lost its color, and whoever had this kept it in pretty decent condition, considering this book is over 100 years old. And it just has such cute illustrations. I want to be careful with the pages, but just so cute. And yeah, over 100 years old. I am absolutely obsessed with antiquarian and vintage book editions, and normally these are quite expensive, but it was so cheap at the thrift store. I was blown away. I'm just so excited to own this, and I am definitely going to save it for Christmas time. These next two books are also very Christmassy. The first one is Victoria Rose's Christmas Caroling Party, and this is kind of like a picture book, but it's not really a picture book because it does have pictures, but it's full of sheet music for Christmas carols. So there's the first Noel, and it has adorable illustrations next to the songs. It has tips for trimming your tree, Oh my goodness, look at these little bunny angels. Oh, this is something I would have loved as a kid, so I definitely wanted to grab this as well. And it also has recipes, so you have some holiday goodies. This is just so, so cute, and I'm so glad I found it as well. It was also very, very cheap, so really, really excited about it as well. And then we have this very interesting book that I've never heard about, but it looks so, so cute, and that is Santa, My Life and Times, an illustrated autobiography. So assuming Santa is real, he wrote his own little autobiography. This one also has really, really cute illustrations as well. Just so, so cute. And yeah, it's just an autobiography of Santa and his life and his time with the reindeers and how he makes the toys that he sends out on Christmas. It looks so silly. Like, the illustrations look so, so funny. So yeah, it's another really, really cute little storybook, and I'm really, really curious to see what I think when I end up reading it, but another really cute little find. And then the rest of the books are mysteries and classics, and the first pile I have here are all from the same series. This is from the Daisy Dalrymple mystery series, and I did kind of look into if I'm able to read the books out of order because these are all later books. I think the earliest one I have is like book 11, and then the rest are like 18, 19, 21, and 22. But I think I can read them out of order, which I'm completely fine with. There's some mystery series that are so long, and I feel like I can't keep starting at number 1 with all of these series because I just have so much that I would have to commit to, especially if I end up loving the first book. And I really like when there's a series where you can just kind of dip your toes in here and there. So I'm hoping that's the case with these books. But the books that I got are Heirs of the Body, and this one is book 21. So this is definitely later in the series. And this one's one that I would probably save for the summertime. Number 20 is Gone West. I just love this cover. All of the covers on these books are just so beautiful. Number 17 is Black Ship, and this one looks very much set in the fall, so I love this cover as well. And then the last two, we have number 18, which is Sheer Folly. And number 11 is Mistletoe and Murder, and this one I hope I can read for Cloak and Dagger Christmas as well. And just look at that cover. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So yeah, these books were all really cheap, and I found them thrifted, so I had to grab all of them even though I haven't read a single book in the series, but I am really, really excited to try it out. This next pile, I needed to grab each of these books. I was just so, so excited to find them, and I've only read the first book in the series, but I already know that it's going to be one that I want to keep coming back to. And I'm talking about the Her Royal Spinous mystery series. It would have been nice to have all of them, either all hardback or all paperback, but honestly, to get them for so cheap, I could care less. So we do have some hardback, some paperback, and a mass market, but that's completely okay. I do have books 1 to 5, and then the books that I found are not too far into the series. I actually found books 6 and 7 as well, which I'm really, really happy about. And book 6 is The 12 Clues of Christmas, a Royal Spinous mystery. I don't think I'm going to get to this Christmas time, but for next Christmas, I hope that I can catch up and read books 2, 3, 4, and 5 so that I can then read this one next Christmas. But love this cover. Every single cover in the series is just gorgeous. I love the illustration style. Absolutely beautiful. Book 7 is Airs and Graces, another gorgeous cover. And then skipping forward to book 10, we have Crowned and Dangerous, and this one was $2, so it's not in the best condition. It looks like it was in a very humid environment. It's very like wrinkly, but for $2, I'm not too upset about that. So book 10. And then book 12 is 4 Funerals and Maybe a Wedding, another gorgeous cover. And then the last one, book 13, is Love and Death Among the Cheetahs, and I love this one. I'm assuming it's set in an African savanna. This one is set in Kenya, so I'm really, really looking forward to it as well. All right, now moving on to the classics. The first one is Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. This is the next one out of all of the Bronte sisters novels that I really, really want to get to. So I'm really excited that I found this, and it's in very, very good condition as well. The only thing that I don't like is the font is really small. But hopefully it'll be okay with an audiobook, so really excited for it. I also found Thomas Hardy Selected Stories, and I hope this is a good collection of stories because I'd like to try more of his work. I have now read 2 of his books and overall enjoyed them, so looking forward to trying these out and seeing what I think. This next book is by a classic author that I've never read from, and I've heard mixed things, so I'm really curious to see what I end up thinking, and that is A Handful of Dust by Evelyn Waugh or Woe. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, but from what I've heard, he writes very funny stories. So I'm hoping that it's a good one. Let me know if you have read this one. I have heard people talk about his other book, Brideshead Revisited, I think is what it's called, but I've never heard anyone talk about this. So let me know what you think if you have read it. I still haven't read anything by this author, but I do have a couple of his books, and now I have another one, and that is Passage to India by E.M. Forster. I really like this edition, and yeah, never heard of it. Have no idea what it's about, but I'm assuming it is set in India. So I guess we shall see when I try it out. The next one is The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald, and I just read a collection of his poetry for Victober, and I heard really good things about this story. It's like a fairy tale, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what I think about it. Next, I got a collection of plays. I've really wanted to try some different plays that are not Shakespeare. I've only recently really started loving plays, and that's because of Oscar Wilde's plays. And I really wanted to try another author, another playwright. And so I got this collection of George Bernard Shaw's plays. He wrote one that I have heard about, and that is Pygmalion, I think. Pygmalion, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but that is one of them in this collection, and there are quite a few in here. So I'm really excited to try them out and see what I think. If you have read any of George Bernard Shaw's plays, let me know which one is your favorite. This next book is one that I'm going to save for next Victober, and I'm really looking forward to it, and that is Elizabeth Gaskell's The Life of Charlotte Bronte. I'm really interested in reading this. I love Elizabeth Gaskell's writing style, but I'm curious to see how that translates to a biography. So this seems like a really interesting one, and I've heard some very good things about it, so I'm definitely excited. And the last book that I have here is a modern classic. It was published in 1950, and I've had my eye on it for a while, and I'm so glad I found it at a thrift store, and that is The Feast by Margaret Kennedy, and it says it's set in Cornwall in the summer of 1947. There's a buried seaside hotel, and for this one I will read the summary. It says, each guest had retired, as an animal retires with a bone to the back of its cage, to chew over some single obsession. Cornwall, midsummer, 1947. Pendesac Manor Hotel has just been buried in the rubble of a collapsed cliff. 7 guests have perished, but what brought this strange assembly together for a moonlit feast before this act of God or man? Over the week before the landslide, we meet the hotel guests in all of their eccentric glory. The selfish aristocrat, slothful hotelier, snooping housekeeper, bereaved couple, bohemian authoress, and poverty-stricken children. And as friendships form and romances blossom, sins are revealed and the cliff cracks widen. It says it's a glorious portrait of seaside holidays in post-war Britain and a wise, witty fable. I'm so excited for this. I definitely think I'm going to read it in the summer because it is set in the summer, but I've heard really good things about it and it sounds really interesting. So definitely excited for that one. All right, friends, so those are the books, the majority of which I thrifted, and I'm so excited to read each of them. Again, if you have read any of them, please do let me know in the comments. And that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye.